負けそうな時は勇気をあげるよ今日も晴れる朝ここでお前どこの国のもんやいい目をしとるやないけそんなにボロボロになってどうしたんやとりあえず流れやじゃかもロケランも書くと思いらないよ前に進む勇気があれば君が今踏み出した力強い一歩でどんな天気も晴れてゆくよ飛ぶぞ One, two, three, jump! Good morning, motherfucker 朝から元気またみんなのハートに勝ち込みをかけるよ Good morning, motherfucker しのぎで疲れ果てたみんなのケツから気合を叩き込むよ負けそうな時は勇気をあげるよ今日も晴れる朝ここでイエーはい体もうちはアイドルのダイム掲げとるんだ全然怪しくないから安心して探し恋になってね合法で安全な朝ここブーツ決めて自由な空羽広げたら飯食うてクソして寝るだけで偉いって君の心も晴れてゆくよ行くぞ One, two, three, jump! Good morning, motherfucker 朝から元気またみんなのハートに勝ち込みをかけるよ Good morning, motherfucker しのぎで疲れ果てたみんなのケツから気合を叩き込むよ疲れた時には癒しをあげるよともやだいやの草でそんなに気のまくわいこ響き渡った方向未来に輝く栄光その夢を諦めるなこんな理不尽をちょっとまとめて跳ね返す覚悟 Go on your own way 進め right now まだ見ぬ空の向こうへGood morning, motherfuckers 朝から元気またみんなのハートに勝ち込みをかけるよ Good morning, motherfuckers しのぎで疲れ果てたみんなのケツから気合を叩き込むよ泣きそうな時は勇気をあげるよ You go けどかわスマイルではいはいはい Yeah はいはいはいはいはいはい Thank you
off to the nursing home we drove in my car. There were sleeping dudes in wheelchairs all over the yard, and inside the halls were scary and creepily lit. It smelled like someone took a dump and then rotisserie'd it. Then I found Granny's room and I went inside. Good to see you, she said. You too, I lied. Then she started talking about the stuff she ate this week. I stuck my friends with her and went to take a leak. Peed all I could pee till I could pee no more. So bored, I opened up one of her cabinet drawers. Oh my God, I shouted as I burst back in. Gramps got a prescription of OxyContin. Let's go to the old folks home. We can get doped up and then all get stoned. Let's go to the old folks home. I'd have been there more if only I'd known. Let's go to the old folks home. We can get doped up and then all get stoned. Let's go to the old folks home. I'd have been here more if only I'd known. Old man Bernie likes to talk about the Korean War, and if he used all of his Percodan, he just gets more. And Miss Edna doesn't care for the blacks a lot, but she's got glaucoma, so she gets good pot. Gladys here only has diabetes, so the best you're gonna find is Tylenol 3s. But Carl is my man, he's got like AIDS in his brain, and I swear to God the dude can even get cocaine. So we rip a couple lines, put on some records, bitch about kids and talk about the weather. Steve craps his pants, we all leave the room. We pass out, take naps, some nurses bring food. Day after day as time goes on by, some people don't make it, we get sad and cry. But new people move in and we all make friends with new stories, points of view and prescription. I guess the point is that the elderly are people too, and you never know how long they're gonna be with you. But they're sweet and they're lonely and they still need friends. So be a good kid and go and visit them. Let's go to the old folks home. We can get doped up and then all get stoned. Let's go to the old folks home. I'd have been there more if only I'd known. Let's go to the old folks home. We can get doped up and then all get stoned. Let's go to the old folks home. I'd have been here more if only I'd known.
Hey, where am I? There I am. Hello. Hi, chat. Hello. Hi, chat. Hello. Hi, chat. Okay, so Sun right off the hop dumped this in chat, and by the sounds of it, they gotta go to bed. So here you go. I have no bloody clue what this is.
Late one night before the tavern keeper shut his door, a wobbly gentleman came in, his footing was unsure, mustachioed and handsome and his clothing touched the floor. He was no man at all, he was 3 kobolds in a trench coat. One's on the bottom, strong as he, 2's in the middle, carrying 3, 3's pretending not to be, 3 kobolds in a trench coat. One day when the maiden was out on her nightly stroll, she got lost in the forest and was set on by an owl. When in there stepped a gentleman, mustachioed and tall. He was no help at all, 'cause he's 3 kobolds in a trench coat. One's on the bottom, strong as he, 2's in the middle, carrying 3, 3's pretending not to be, 3 kobolds in a trench coat. Once there was a king who was a scourge upon his land. The citizens all wished him dead, his rule they couldn't stand. One day he just fell dead on the pavement by no hand. He happened to have died next to 3 kobolds in a trench coat. One's on the bottom, strong as he, 2's in the middle, carrying 3, 3's pretending not to be, 3 kobolds in a trench coat. Of the kingdom, the men's praises they did sing, believing that he was the one who slew their awful king. Put on his head a crown, into the throne they did him bring. But little did they know he was 3 kobolds in a trench coat. One's on the bottom, strong as he, 2's in the middle, carrying 3, 3's pretending not to be, 3 kobolds in a trench coat. Take them long to hate their brand new overlord. He butchered up the tax code and put rebels to the sword. From Out of his own kingdom he was driven by the horde. The economy had been ruined by 3 kobolds in a trench coat. One's on the bottom, strong as he. 2's in the middle, carrying 3. 3's pretending not to be 3 kobolds in a trench coat. 1!
I like to assume that the one wearing the mustache and hat was like, oh, this looks good on me, guys. I got an idea.
Wondering how I sing 3-part harmony when I am just one man without another to be seen. I'm sure the most observant of you already have gleaned that I am not a man. I am 3 kobolds in a trench coat. 1's on the bottom, fiddling free. 2's in the middle, keeping the beat. I'm pretending not to be 3 kobolds in a trench coat. We're pretending not to be 3 kobolds in a trench coat.
Thank you, son. That was a cute video. Here, I'll link it again for people who missed it. Oh, I was trying not to cough there. Oh god, my whole lung system's gonna kill me. Hi, Harupi, congrats on first. Hello, Turtle. Hello, Landum. Hello, Emma. Hello, Harper. Hello, Sun. Hello, Romney. Hello, Skinning. Captain Ray. Hi. Hello, Dipshit. Hi. Hello, Surface Tenchi. Hi. Hi, Draconic Flare. Hi. It's everyone. And hello, Tasty. Hi. Are you guys actually 3 kobolds in a trench coat or slimes? Would slimes be able to keep themselves apart, or would the biggest one just inhale the others? Now that I think about it. I don't want to think about it anymore. So yeah, I didn't stream last night because I wanted to explain something in regards to Concord to Sui and DJ, so I had to verbally say it because I was not typing all that shit out. And then I kind of just forced my way into a stream for several hours. That's just an orgy. No, that's with snakes when they roll together and turn themselves into one big ball. Probably depends on your homebrew. Fair. I still think the weakest slime will be absorbed by the other slimes, and then the biggest slime will be the boss. And his name is Remuru. So, yeah, tonight we'll be playing IllBleed. More IllBleed, because I've been slacking. I only played it last Tuesday? Yeah. And I want to play more of it, because it is interesting. I will be honest, I'm not having a grand time with how the controls are, but it is interesting, and that's what's got me stuck on it. Rat King situation, little bit. When snakes breed, they form a giant ball, and they just go at it for days. And there's no direct reason why I chose the serpent race for my D&D campaign in regards to having them be the evil cult in the background trying to destroy the entire world. Also, I have plans of potentially being a lizard man druid the next time that I get to make a character. I want to make a simplistic guy, but simplistic in terms of like how he interacts, not in how he thinks. There's a homebrew out there, the Compendium of the Forgotten Secrets, which has a warlock patron, the gelatinous conviction. Oh my god, that sounds great. Hi, Benny. Hi, Benny.
You should not breathe the same air I breathe. You are scum. You are below me.
Alright, now I turned that way down because I still had that up from earlier. Okay. So not a lot. But one thing I do want to go over real quick. The Golden Joystick Awards happened today, and I'm not watching a 3-hour long ceremony. But the 42nd annual Golden Joystick Awards happened, and we'll go over. So the Ultimate Game of the Year, they had the nominees of Animal, Astro Boy, Bellatra, Black Myth, Wukong, which one? Blop 6, Dragon Age Velguard, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Helldivers 2 Lamau, Metaphor, Satisfactory, Silent Hill 2, and Tekken 8. This is pretty much the same list I was expecting. Surprise Satisfactory's on there, to be perfectly frank, and Animal Well. But good. Studio of the Year, 11-Bit Studios, Arrowhead Game Studios, Capcom, Digital Eclipse, Team Asobi, which one? Or Visual Concepts. Best PC Game of the Year, to shock no one, Satisfactory 1, Animal Well, Balatro, Frostpunk 2, Tactical Breach Wizards, or UFO 50. Tactical Breach Wizards is interesting because that's that game where you get a group of wizards who are supposed to be like a SWAT team and they bust into places, but you get to do move at a time, figure it out, and then actually hit play on the whole break-in. And then UFO 50. Ufarpono 50. A game that I definitely want to check out at some point. But like 50 fucking games in one. And they're full games. Oh. I'm gonna play 2 of them and then be like, yeah, that's cool. And then realize there's 48 still more to go and I'm wasting my money. I got a joystick for you right here, Pants Pinch. Well, if you want to pinch it off with the claw, go nuts. It poses that all slimes share a hive mind, like consciousness, allowing the warlock to even communicate with slimes of all types. Oh. I'll be frank. That does imply some dark things, like the slimes don't actually have a will of their own because of this collective consciousness, and that it is just the biggest slime at any point just being able to talk through the slimes or commit those nefarious deeds. Dang, a whole pinch, massive fellow. Console Game of the Year? Hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. Fucking inconceivable. Why are you giving me copium? Helldivers 2 won Console Game of the Year. Like, I can understand why Zelda and Final Fantasy VII would not win Console Game of the Years, because those are just on 2 fucking consoles. Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown kind of like came and went. Dragon's Dogma 2 had a shit ton of hiccups, and Astro Boy is just on the PS2. So Helldivers 2 winning here is only because it was cross-platform. Hi Kyle, welcome in, and goddammit. Rico balls in a trench coat. I don't even know where he's gonna show up. There we go. Is he even on? Hello, little guy.
Oh, wow! That
Hello,
is relatable!
Little guy. There he is. There he is, and he's bigger than me. No, you know what? We'll do it this way. Fine, fuck you. Fine, fuck y'all. Perfect. Perfect. This actually works excellently. Every life has value in the eyes of the users. However, that value is best often expressed after one has died. The gelatinous conviction is a nigh infinite number of colorful sentient slime cubes that float through space, collecting the memories of the dead by absorbing their bodies. Oh, they're protein fiends. Understandable, man. Oh, also, thank you, Emma, for the 15 FOMO streak. Enjoy your yummy points. And thank you, Kyle, for your 5 FOMO streak. Enjoy yummy points. Take back your fighter. Take back your fighter. Give it a second. He didn't fuck a Bible, and it's nothing to do with Joe Biden. Four big guys, and they bust my eyes. They eat my ass just like apple pie. If they keep fucking me like this, I might just die. They pop me with their cry. Jordan, he fucked on Gordon. He sent me butt pics this morning. Hands down the greatest news I've received. I love when I receive news. I gotta make this $250,000 soon. Take it all away from you, but still have it relatively be there. Remember, that's one of those redeems that I can't refund you. What? Okay, the most wanted game list. This is kind of funny because this tends to not have anything people really wanted. It's just things that popped up. Atom Fall. Assassin's Creed Shadow. Holy shit, they put that on this list. That's so funny. Oh, how many people want the Assassin's Creed game that's set in Japan? A lot of people did want that idea. How many people wants Assassin's Creed Shadows, where they use fucking post Hiroshima fucking I can't get into it again. This is the most brain dead fucking Assassin's Creed entry I've ever seen. They used the gate that survived after the bomb dropped, but it's supposed to be set in the past, and they had no idea the relevance. They literally just Googled a bunch of things Japan and then just copied and pasted it. Funny. Sid Meier's Civilization 7. It's the same map game again, but you've tweaked a few things. Oh, okay, hold on. The last AC game I liked was Brotherhood. Yeah, that's fair. Black Flag. If you haven't... Black Flag. That's a good one. So the figures in some of the promotional artwork has used the broken Torii Gate that survived the bombing. This is supposed to be set in the past, and yet for that they're using what is considered modern day. It's way worse than just that. But just not having that base understanding of where that came from alone is just really... shows how much they did no research at all. So I'm excited to see it eventually drop and everyone go, what the fuck is this? I don't want to play the fight music that popped up in the game, but let's just say it's very...
I don't want to live.
Yeah. Hi, Jazza. Welcome in. You're just in time for the Golden Joystick Awards, the 42nd. The 42nd annual Golden Joystick Awards. The most wanted game in Jazz's heart, Assassin's Creed Shadows with that broken Torii Gate. Claire Obscure Expedition 33. No idea what the fuck that is. Deadlock. Nobody wanted Deadlock. People just got Deadlock and went, yeah, this is how you should do it. Death Stranding 2 on the beach. Yeah, probably. Death Stranding community is fucking insane, and Kajumbo stands are fucking insane. Doom the Dark Ages, no idea. Exodus, no idea. This is supposed to say Fable 4. No idea. Ghost of Yotei. Yeah, Ghost of Tsushima was good. Hi, bud. What the fuck is this award show? It's the 42nd award show. Grand Theft Auto 6. Of course it won. Because Grand Theft Auto 5 came out in fucking 2013. How old is Grand Theft Auto 5? Did it came out in 2010 or 2013? One of those 2 years. The only deadlock that matters is Deadlock Podcast. Fucking Wrestling Stan. Man, I want to play like all these games more than GTA 6. Yeah. Hi, Muggy, and a balls to you as well. Hollow Knight Silk Song. This is never coming out. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. That actually looks kind of cool. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Light No Fire. This one is the No Man's Sky dev. This one is the No Man's Sky dev, and instead of being an entire universe, it's going to be one planet, and it's going to be an RPG that people can jump in and jump out of. Like, multiplayer. So that sounds cool. Mafia the Old Country. This is, pre the first Mafia in terms of setting. So that sounds neat, but it also sounds like you don't get a car. Monster Hunter Wilds. Yeah. Skate. Yeah. Slay the Spire 2. There's enough games where I don't need a Slay the Spire 2. There's enough games that are Slay the Spire that I don't need a sequel to Slay the Spire. Kingdom Come Deliverance is hilarious, but I don't think it's supposed to be. Good humor comes out of situations that are not supposed to be funny. South of Midnight. No idea. One planet is still ridiculous scale, but like the universe, more manageable. Yeah. You love that Kingdom? You love that coming? You love Deliverance. Fair. 1000X Resistance, no idea. Emio, the Smiling Man, Famicom, Detective Club, no idea. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, yeah, I expected. Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, should have won! L'Oreal and the Laser Eyes, no idea. Tactical Breach Wizards. Best Visual Design, Black Myth Wukong, yeah. I wouldn't, you know, that's a biased answer. This was very dark, and that was just Persona. I have no idea. And this is just a, hey, do you like the PlayStation? Because Sony doesn't, but we'll give you a game. Tactical Breach Wizards was good. I've heard it's very good. Best multiplayer game, Lamau. Lamau. Best audio design, Astro Boy. Could have been Balatro. Best game expansion. Yeah, that's just a new fucking game. That's just a new game. Best indie game. Another Crab's Treasure. Yeah, okay, fair. I would have given it to UFO 50 because that's literally 50 games in one. And Another Crab's Treasure is just a Souls-like clone. A very good one. It kind of just is just another Souls-like clone. But I guess at this point, given... No, UFO 50's been out for a few months now. Riven. I have no idea what Riven is. Oh, it's Mist. I literally just randomly clicked into the video, and it's something I would be doing, is just picking up something. It's the sequel to Mist? Oh. It's the past tense of the verb form of rivet, riven. I thought it was the League of Legends thing. Squeaky Squedgens. The remake of the sequel of the remaster of the reboot of Mist. Can they stop making video games now? I think we're good. I think we're good. Tiny Glade, no idea. Best indie game, Balatro, yay! Animal Well, Arco, Beyond Galaxyland, Conscript, Indica, L'Oreal, and the Laser Eyes. Thank goodness you're here. That looks like a fun game. I want to play that. Lucky Squire, no idea. And Ultros. Best soundtrack, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I'll give you that. Best early access game, Lethal Company. That fucking exploded. Best gaming hardware, Steam Deck OLED. Yeah. It's a piece of shit. Piece of shit. This game trailer, the launch trailer for Helldivers 2, because everyone didn't understand the satire. Honestly, should have been this. Best game adaptation, 100%. If you haven't watched the Fallout series, I will tell you, it's pretty damn good. Pretty damn good. Deep Rock got robbed. Yeah, Deep Rock's been around for so long that people have already gotten past their enjoyment of it, and it's just back down to that core bunch of dwarves, like that one. Best gaming hardware is some Todd and Aaron's Game Awards category. Yeah. No Mahjong love. This is white people doing this. This is the Golden Joystick Awards. This is all American, baby. These people are wrong because it's still getting good stuff all the time. Yeah, but those people played the play cycle of the game and then got bored of it and left. I am one of those people who have played Rock and Stone and went, Rock and Stone's cool, but I'm good on Rock and Stone now. Maybe in like another 6 months to a year, I'll be like, okay, I'll give it another go. But I just dicked around way too much to do it because I'm elf. Best lead performer. Cody Christian's Cloud Strife in Final Fantasy. Oh yeah, they're jerking Final Fantasy off. Best supporting performer. Aerith. Yep, jerking it. Still played award. People still play Honkai Star Rail. Here you go. But no, my Monopoly Go! All my Monopoly Go stands in the crowd. Where the hell were you? And Subway Surfers even. Roblox. Roblox was robbed. Roblox was robbed because Roblox has a fucking stable economy akin to that of like a class 3 nation. Still playing award console and PC. Minecraft. Fortnite should have won that. Fuck no, Counter-Strike 2 should have won that. But Minecraft. Streamers' Choice Awards, Chained Together. Everyone loved fucking killing each other on Chained Together. Critics' Choice Award was Helldivers 2 because they reviewed it before PlayStation pulled it from everywhere. And Breakthrough Award, as it should be, Balatro. So those were your Golden Joystick Awards, the 42nd annual Golden Jerk-Off Award. I dip my wiener in gold. And my winky was a key. We should rewatch Austin Powers and Goldmember, or just all three of them. Yeah, I'll put that on the list actually. Rewatch all Austin Powers movies. Yeah, I'll do a triple feature soon. Alright, and speaking of British people with funny accents, here's Look Mom, No Computer, with it was never actually meant to be a real-time analog tape loop pitch shifter, aka he built something he thought he could make, and then it kaput.
Wow! That is relatable!
Built a couple of weeks ago again because I've made some improvements to it. It is a virtually real-time pitch-shifting machine that is made.
Muggy, you should play MTG. No, you shouldn't. You stay away from that evil.
Right here. As we saw in the previous video, if
easy to have stable economy when it's just based off the USD. Yeah,
it actually goes down in pitch,
but it's generating money out of nothing when you think about it.
You can go anywhere from a monster all the way up to a chipmunk or anything in between.
Yes, sirree.
It's based on an
Thought about killing myself.
principle that was used in a machine called the Temperphon. In fact, there was a Temperphon that only the other week went up on a music auction site, Sphere Music, and yeah, unfortunately, I got outbid, and I got outbid on a weird like.
Outbid by quite a margin. You folks are mad paying that much money for that. You nut job.
Looking at this image, you'll see
Hi,
that
Shy
it's
Guy.
actually
Welcome
the
in.
Temperphon, the original machine was actually an add-on to a reel-to-reel machine. So that makes me think that it wasn't actually designed to be a real-time, well, virtually real-time pitch machine, because the read head, the recording head that would record onto the tape, would be so far away from the read head that it wouldn't actually practically be useful, because there'll be a heck of a lot of a delay between where you speak and where you record. Its function in that form is still very useful because it is able to change the pitch up or down, but not change the speed, which would not be possible with a normal tape machine, because in order to make the pitch go up or down, you need to change the speed of the tape. Anyway, in the comments there was a lot of suggestions. One of the main ones was asking why I didn't use a VCR player drum head. This is a reed head inside a VHS player. It's basically a drum that spins around at a slight angle, so it reads, and as it spins around it reads the VHS tape. Why I didn't use that is
I've been
because,
watching this guy for a
I
long
think
time.
This was a simpler and more effective
Ever since he
approach.
dropped the
I did
Furby
have a
organ.
think about it, but in order to make it work, you'd have to figure a way of making it slant perfectly right. And then the other downside is most ones that you can find have 2 tape heads. So you'd have to wrap the tape around the whole 180 degrees. And if you didn't use VHS tape and just used tape stuff like this to make the loop, it would have been really hard to align it right.
Possible
So I don't think it's practically that useful of a means of doing so. Another thing about the VHS tape head is the way it transfers the electrical impulses from the spinning device to the wires that are below it.
It's unfortunate that he's
transformer,
British.
as
Hey,
it
he's
spins
got to
round,
have one
there is
debuff.
another kind of electrical coupling. With this,
No one's allowed to
I used
be
something
completely
called a slip ring.
perfect.
What that is the wires
There
go in the
has
bottom of the
to be
slip ring,
some
and the wires come out the
weakness,
top of the slip ring.
some
where they're able
defect
to spin
that makes
away
them normal.
independently without getting taffled up. That's because in the middle there's a metal shaft with some brushes around it, so as it spins around, the wires
Lucky
are able
found
to
the
maintain
Lucky
electrical
found
contact,
the
but they get to
MTG
spin
fucking
around. A lot of comments saying, "Oh, that's gonna make
My
it
Little Pony
noisy.
cards.
It's gonna be too noisy. It's gonna be noisy." But if you listen, well, it's not noisy because the noise floor is the same whether this is moving or not moving. So yeah, the effect of that is too low to worry about. In fact, I did think about this when I made my first spinning tape machine idea thingamajiggy, the Crystal Palace. If you look at this, it's a spinning thing with a tape head on the top of it. You'll notice that I was thinking this was going to be a problem, so I made the tape amplification circuit on the actual tape head side of the slip ring. The idea being the signal to noise ratio would be much higher, but
I'm just
actually,
amazed
after
the wires
tests,
don't
it
get
didn't
caught
really
and
make a
twist and
bit
break.
of difference. Also, there is another thing that I did in that Crystal Palace machine, thinking that noise would be a problem, and that was powered by a stepper motor. And if you see there, the stepper motor is miles away from the machine, because I thought the stepper motor was gonna make some adverse noise effects onto the actual Crystal Palace machine. But I didn't bother doing that in this one. As you can see, the stepper motor underneath the tape speed is
Stepper
directly
motor.
underneath it, and the stepper motor here is, you know, in the vicinity of the tape. The tape is still far enough away for it to completely not affect it. Like, obviously, if you remove the noise floor, it might be when I improve the electronics.
holding my
which we'll have a
judgment
chat
until
about what
I
I've
do,
done to
though,
improve
because
this
I cannot
so
hear
far.
it.
But I still think it's a very small issue, and the advantages of using a stepper motor, which we'll find out later in this video, I think outweigh the minimal effect from the noise, which I don't think is there anyway. Anyway, let's have a chat about what I've done to improve it.
In truth, I haven't really done that much. What I did first was transfer it, like I mentioned in the previous video, from cassette tape, which is very thin, it's 1/8, to 1/4 inch tape. As you can see, I've just 3D printed the actual items slightly larger, and then I've just replaced them. So they're exactly the same, they're just a little wider. I had to add extra washers into this part, and extra washers onto the capstan tensioner thingamajig, and I had to print a new head that was a little bit wider, but I ended up also using the copycat tape heads as well, because they're mono tape heads. Mono tape heads are good because they've got wide track, and the tolerances for the tape could be rubbish, because I'm rubbish at making things, so the tolerance being bad is fine. Anyway, I just bolted it back together. Here's me making a new tape loop. It's a lot easier using 1/4 inch tape because it's a lot wider and it takes a lot more tension. I've added another tensioner here, which is just an impact socket in this, but I updated it later on. And I also 3D printed a new drive wheel because the one I made with hot glue in the video last was too bumpy, so this is much smoother.
Sounds like the cat's angry.
I tried these tape driver boards off the internet, the TA7668. It really didn't work for me. I just couldn't have any luck with it. It sounded crap, so I used the Copycat's electronics. I could put it back at some point, but it works for now.
The other day I messed around for 20 minutes or so, putting different things into this machine, and that video, the full video, is over on Patreon, but here's some snippets of it. You can download the direct recording as well and chop it up to use as samples if you'd so please.
Ooh,
anyway, take it away, Funky Monkey Mark II.
I like how he's got the controls just written on his hand, I assume.
And if I slow the tape down, the fidelity goes down because you've got to run at tape speed, but you can get much more pitch variation to nearly 0.
The angle of the tape of the drum needs fine-tuning so double hits are less prominent. Right now, when one tape head leaves, the one entering crosses over. I don't think you'd ever get rid of it completely.
If we stop the tape, there's a mini tape loop in there. This is it playing the drums backwards now in little chunks. Sort of like, not glandular fever. What is it? Granular synthesis. Currently, the delay between the audio input and the effect output is about 80 milliseconds. That's because the tape record head's here and the read head's there. We could probably make it quicker if we move it a little bit closer. I reckon I could get it a tiny bit closer and also speed up the tape a little bit more. We might be able to improve that. But we can use this inherent delay to our advantage by also sending it back into itself, turning it into a tape delay, but not any tape delay, a pitch shifting tape delay.
Pitch shift tape delay? Jesus.
Yeah. You'll notice that it's becoming a delay, but there's also a pitch shift to the delay. So it's a pitch shifting delay.
That's what good pussy sounds like. Like a pitch shifting tape delay. You're not wrong.
Now it's going slower. The delay is bringing it down. That's pretty cool, isn't it? Let's try it with vocals now.
You're just yelling into the void. Sloppy pussy.
With all of this stuff in mind, you can plug a guitar into this, and that's when I think this really comes into its own.
You clean that up a little bit, and that sounds really cool.
The delay isn't horrendous, so you could scrape it by as a pitch shifter. And also a harmonizer. still think the best trick in its book is still the crazy space sounds, because it doesn't sound like a digital
goofy
thing, but it doesn't sound like a tape thing, because these things don't really exist. It's still crazy.
It's like 60s sci-fi. Legitimately, though, it sounds like some Doctor Who shit.
Right, then decided to make it look a little bit more retro by adding this Tolex, and I think the Tolex was actually put into these old products to cover over really bad woodwork, because that's what I'm doing. Anyway, now we're going to add control voltage input jacks into each of the pots. I plug them into another analog input of the Arduino drivers for the stepper motors, and all we do is we just add another analog input into the code. It adds it to the knob, so basically the knob plus the control voltage is the speed of the tape. Yeah, and then we're going to give it a go by plugging some things in. Let's see what it sounds like when we got a control voltageable.
Now we have the control voltage input into the machine.
Hi, rhubarb.
Using things like this sequencer. For instance, if I twist the knob over on this 2001 keyboard sequencer, I can make it slow down. If we press play, we can bounce between each of these knobs, which all have different speeds. Hello. I wonder how quick we can make this go.
Weird.
Actually, that's really responsive.
What happens if we put it on the tape speed instead? So now we are controlling the tape speed instead.
That kind of kills it. It's a grumbly mess, mate. Prochain doma machine. The hell?
Okay, now let's try
A shebang.
so feed it back into itself whilst this is happening.
Post punk, new wave, synth pop, cold wave. Ooh, cold wave.
Anyway, let's try and play it with some drum beats and sync it up to some music, shall we?
Here I am vibing along with it, and I
Another thing
forget
that I
I'm
wanted to
just a
try
fucking
was trying it with an
goddamn
expression pedal.
PNG
So the
right now.
expression pedal would send the voltage into it, so you could potentially adjust
Can't
the
see shit.
intervals of the harmonies. But I didn't have an expression pedal. I don't know. It's just gone missing. So we're going to plug it into a theremin instead. In fact, it's the same theremin I plugged into my Mini. So I've decided to plug a theremin via some electronics into the throttle cable of my car. Why? Why not?
I mean, fair enough.
and it's still actually got the rev counter on it from that. So we're going to plug it in, and it turned out it was a lot harder to kind of tune the intervals on the theremin, so I basically just bounced around with it. Anyway, have a look.
Hi, Small. Hello. He's not in the jar. He's not in the jar. He's only stepping on top. He's not in the jar. Me fucking goddamn stimming. This is supposed to be someplace over the rainbow, a rendition from Planet SPN 3.56.
So for this video, I think that's it for this machine. I'm going to keep on having a go, this and that and the other. I'm going to improve the electronics. I think the electronics are the things that let this down, particularly the tape writing circuitry. I'm going to try and increase the fidelity somewhat, but I don't know when that's going to be. Let's just see. But if you want to see more information about things like that, you will see it first over on Patreon, because I document all of the projects and things that I'm working on at the time in videos, live streams and things like that over there. You can also download samples that I've made from this machine, from this video and the video before, and loads of others over on there. And needless to say, that helps support spending time and money on things like this, for videos like this. So if you enjoy these videos, have a think about popping a couple of quid on over there, but it's all good if not, just enjoy them anyway. Anyway, that's it from me and the Funky Monkey Mark II, and I'll see you next time. If you like me, don't forget to subscribe, and remember, don't be scared to try it.
Bye, look mom, no computer. Strange little British man makes funny little machines. I do appreciate that he does it all analog. God, why didn't they make a fucking just quick back to position? Ah, I should just save the positions of these. What, bud? You trying to say that you were gonna actually, like, use a program properly? No, that's insane. Alright, chicken sandwich. Review, bruh. No, actually, no. We'll use that as a palate cleanser. We got a Meat Canyon video. It's the world's most cursed objects. $5? $5. We get Zach Baggins on here.
Welcome back to the Papa Meat channel. How you doing? How you doing? Come in and sit on down, because today we're talking about more cursed objects.
We did a video on the most cursed places, but one of those things was Robert, the Jamaican cursed doll. Yeah.
Huh? What?
Robot. Which got us into thinking about more cursed objects, because we've also talked about the Dybbuk box. Oh,
yeah, okay, we got the Zach Baggins already.
Real, but there has to be some
That's definitely not real.
Evil objects out there, haunted, cursed by the devil himself.
And I want to talk about more of those today, starting off with the devil's
rocking chair.
Huh?
What I tell you, the devil, he works in mysterious ways. Should the devil be hot? Because is God's, he says the most beautiful angel. What if God's like, you're beautiful? And he's like, definitely not.
That's why homosexuality is a sin, because the devil tempts you with his body.
That adds up. I feel like if I saw the devil, dude, I'd be chubbed up big time. Not hard, not hard. I'm only hard for the Lord, Nick. But I might get chubbed up for the devil. All right.
Today's video is sponsored by Displate. Displate's metal posters
No,
let you
no
capture
Displate
true
ad for
passions
you.
in any room without the hassle. Code PAPAMeat.
Case from the archives of Lorraine and
No
Ed
Displate
Warren.
ad for
They're con
you.
people. They're not. They're
The guy behind the camera is already weird. I don't
They
know
look
if he's stating that as his own belief or if he's just saying
The
that's
famous
where they
investigative duo
make
that
the
you may know
parallel.
from the Conjuring series, Ed and Lorraine Warren. Actors look so much hotter than the actual couple. It should be a crime. Why can't they just put fucking ugly fat people in these roles?
But he likes ugly fat people.
True. The story is actually a core plot of The Conjuring 3.
Ow!
The Devil Made Me Do It. Devil's Rocking Chair is said to be the cause.
Hi, Fudgy. Hi, Fudgy. Welcome in. Thank you. 22-month resubscribe. Jesus Christ. Never gonna make you cry. Never gonna say goodbye. Never gonna tell a lie. Ow, Muggy, don't throw things at me.
Sega Dreamcast.
Sega Dreamcast.
Of demonic possession and even
Yes, we'll be playing IllBleed after.
Is this Lorraine?
Lorraine!
God.
I don't know, but TMZ took a picture.
Yeah, I like how TMZ's just like, this is ours. This is ours. Okay? We got a video about Leonardo DiCaprio and we got the devil's rocking chair. Okay? It's a haunting. Is that a man? It's a woman. Oh, God. It's hard for me to move past it, if I'm being honest, my lord. The chair was owned by the Glatzel family in the 1950s. They had owned the chair for 30 years without noticing any strange occurrences. That is, until 1980.
For 30 years.
When 11-year-old David Glatzel was possessed
Devil's
by
just
an
been
evil
hanging
spirit
out
that appeared
in
to
the
be
chair.
half animal with hooves, horns, and spiky teeth. Ever since that night, David became a different person. He was anxious and disconnected from the world around him.
Going through puberty.
Yeah, 11-year-old boy's balls drop and he gets hairs on his balls and testicles. No one likes me. He used to be such a bright kid. What happened? Nothing. God. The nightmares would become more and more intense for David, who would wake up to bruises and markings on his body. How do we know that someone's not fucking giving him a Full Metal Jacket, going in this room with a bar of soap and a sock and just beating the hell out of him?
Maybe it's Ed.
Yeah, it's Ed and Lorraine sneaking in, spinning a sock. The devil's making me do it, David. The beast would roam throughout the daytime, taking a liking to the rocking chair. The family reported that it would slowly rock back and forth on its own from time to time. I like that little in bit. It would rock back and forth every once in a while. On a blue moon, it very rarely happened. It keeps going more and more. Lorraine and Ed Warren were eventually called to perform an exorcism as David began to feel he was turning
no,
into
that's
a beast
long.
himself. I got these hair. Am I a werewolf? Am I a werewolf? I got asshole and taint hair now. Why is that?
The game takes 60 to 30 hours to complete. I'm not playing a game. I'm not playing a game that's gonna take me 80 hours to beat.
Origami swan. Okay. Do you have pictures? They're like, no, we didn't.
Brain too small.
Your spirits.
That's one thing. How has there not been a camera company that has made paranormal exclusive technology? It would sell like hotcakes.
No,
Nick.
I don't.
Sell like hotcakes.
The devil doesn't want it to work.
And therefore, it won't work. 24-year-old Arnie Johnson, the fiance of David's sister, decided to take matters into his own hands. Arnie went to the first spot David claimed to see the demon so he could provoke it and ask to take him instead. Like others, I like to imagine the guy's like a pop collar. He's like, leave the fucking kid alone and take me, motherfucker, take me. They were able to successfully remove the demon from David and restore control to his body. However, upon leaving, it soon entered Arnie Johnson. He would come to have the same visions as David. Yeah, which it was odd, but it did possess the man who provoked it, and he did have similar nightmares. When Johnson became possessed, things took a much more violent turn. He was charged with murdering his landlord and stabbing him repeatedly, which his fiance witnessed fully.
God damn.
Arnie's just like,
I'm not saying that you should play it through the whole game, just that you should check it out.
Okay, thank you. During the court case, they tried to use demonic possession as a defense, but to no avail. Johnson was found guilty and sentenced to 10 to 20 years in prison. He served 5 years and was released for good behavior. What? He just stabbed the landlord to death. He stabbed a human being to death.
I mean, no, he stabbed a landlord.
Go on, Arnie. You rapscallion. Surprisingly, the Glatzels kept the rocking chair even after moving houses. Because of this, they were never fully rid of the paranormal occurrences. People who sat in the chair would suffer severe back pain that required medical attention. The chair was eventually purchased by Zach Bagans for $67,000.
Yeah, we got his name.
We got his name in Las Vegas. Of course it would be. Zach can't just not let things be. He has to own every piece of paranormal paraphernalia out there. Also, it's probably a fucking uncomfortable rocking chair, dude. I bought this chair for $67,000. Don't sit in it, you'll get back pains from a demon. Let me get this straight. David sat in a chair when he was 11. And he's like, I'm turning into a monster. We believe that it was him basically just going through puberty, balls dropping. He's probably getting horny, hard for no reason. It's the worst time in a boy's life when they get hard for no reason at all. And then all of a sudden, I think Arnie Johnson, he's like, you know what, I'm gonna take this demon. I think Arnie saw it as an opportunity because he's like, I'm gonna kill my landlord. I'm gonna use this as an opportunity to say, oh, I was possessed, and then murder this guy. And then he got out 5 years. I can see a guy named like Arnie Johnson. I imagine he's in a pink polo, popped collar, and he's listening to like Motley Crue. You gotta turn it down, Arnie. There's like 7 other families who live here. He's like, sure, would you mind coming up to my apartment real quick? I want to show you something. Next up, we have the paintings of Arshile Gorky. There's no way I said that name right. The paintings of Arshile Gorky have been linked to several paranormal occurrences, from spontaneously catching fire to inviting the presence of ghostly figures and even tragic death on a large
Was he painting with gasoline?
We got
actual
define
oil?
what that means.
Oh, we will.
Oh, we're gonna have to, because even I'm like, Many believe this is due to the horribly sad and disturbing life of the painter, who lived through the tears of the Armenian genocide. At age 14, he and his mother embarked on the 150-mile death march as a result of mass deportation. Were you having a good day? Just wanted to soil it for you. Thank you. They struggled to survive in their new home, and his mother eventually died in his arms from starvation. This is a comedy video. He fled to America at age 16 to live with his estranged father, eventually taking up painting and creating a Russian identity to escape persecution, deciding on the name Arshile Gorky. Oh, I want a Russian identity. Arshile Gorky, please. What? I thought the generic Russian name was like Nikolai. Nikolai Despolpovich, huh? Vladimir Polshka. Vladimir Polshka, yeah. Arshile Gorky? Even his later years as a painter, father, and husband, tragedy continued to strike. Gorky's studio had suddenly caught fire and destroyed most of his work. Only 1 month later, Gorky was diagnosed with colon cancer. The following operations broke him physically and emotionally. Once again, comedy video. Hope you're laughing. His marriage worsened amongst the turmoil, leading to his wife having an affair with a fellow painter he befriended. In the divorce, she took the children. This is a man who was just not meant... He was not meant to live long. God. That same week, a gallery owner gave Arshile a ride home while drunk. The car crashed, and Gorky suffered severe fractures to his neck and back, and he was forced to wear a neck brace to keep his head upright. In the end, Arshile was left a shell of himself. He hung himself from the rafter of his barn and died in 1948. 24 years after his death, in 1962, tragedy struck on American Airlines Flight 1, which was routed to Los Angeles. 15 of Gorky's paintings were aboard that plane, making its way to an art exhibition. Minutes after taking flight, the plane rolled over and crashed into a nearby swamp. 87 passengers and 8 crew members died, and every single Arshile Gorky painting was destroyed in the accident. Let me ask you this. Does that even feel like the paintings?
Damn.
I think it's just Arshile. I feel bad for the guy, but at the same time, I'm like, you should have just isolated yourself. What could you possibly paint?
You should have just went into the woods
bandwidth to even put
then
brush
never
to
come out
canvas after a life like that. You have to wear a goddamn cast to keep your head like still. He's just like, miss my wife. Miss my wife. Next up, Letta the Haunted Doll.
Perhaps the most famous and certainly the ugliest, the Demon Doll.
I don't think, is Letta gonna even hold a candle to my boy Robert? We're gonna see. Letta the doll was believed to be a product of 18th century Eastern Europe, and it has been deemed one of the most haunted dolls in the world. They should just get rid of that title. You know how many haunted dolls where they're like, seriously, this one's the most haunted. If Robert or bust. Well, actually, who do you think would win in a paranormal fight? Robert or Annabelle? With his giant club feet. The doll was found in the 1970s when 2 brothers explored an abandoned house in New South Wales, Australia. The doll was found under the floorboards and taken home, and the doll was dubbed Letta Me Out. Due to jokes being made about the doll seemingly moving out of the bag it was put inside. I like how that's a cute name. The doll moves itself out of the bag on its own, and the Australians like, oh my god, look at that. I'm gonna let it out.
Look at this little guy. Look at him go.
The doll's hair was 100% real. Okay. The Letta doll, not gonna lie, pretty haunting looking. This looks like any lesbian New York stand-up comic I've seen.
John Lennon.
Can I just put that out there? Can I be so bold to put that out there? Letta looks like a New York lesbian stand-up comic. That or Adam Friedland. I can't tell. Letta was known to move around by itself, leaving small scuff marks from its shoes all throughout the house. Being in close proximity to the doll has led many witnesses to scream, vomit, and pass out. It said dogs that came in contact with it would constantly try to tear it apart. Hey, don't put your dog near that thing for real. That doesn't seem that crazy. It's a dog.
A little yummy treat.
But this dog's possessed. It's like, no, it's a dog. I would if I was a dog. I'd bite the shit out of that thing. Look at it. It's ugly.
Could be the human hair too. Maybe it smells like weird to them.
Yeah. Do you keep a doll that has human hair?
No.
No.
It's in the garbage.
I'm even kind of, I'm being honest, like when I hear this, I was like, oh, toothbrushes or paintbrushes are, it's boar hair. Boar hair, Nick. Oh, this one's made of horse hair. Witnesses have claimed to see many paranormal things surrounding Letta the doll. Like facial expression changes. These things happen, and I constantly ask myself, why do you not just throw it away? Would you not be like, cool? You just take it, you just bye-bye.
Maybe they tried getting rid of it.
They never tried getting rid of it, dude.
That's what Robert tried to get rid of it, and it would always come back because the little kid would probably dig it.
Well, yeah, the kid was digging it back up. I mean, he kept the whole thing his whole life. He was a freak. He was attached to it. Items surrounding the doll being moved or falling from the wall. So basically knocking off picture frames, you know, toys around it being moved. Sudden destruction of light bulbs. Lettuce causing power surges and having bulbs explode. And rain whenever the doll is transported in moving vehicles. That one, you can't get me with that one. All right, I was kind of like, oh, this is kind of creepy, right? You know, the doll has radiation in its hair and it blows up a light bulb. But it's like, really? Don't want rain? Don't move, Letta. Don't put her in a vehicle because it will rain. The doll still remains with its original owners. What? And today he refused to sell it out of some sort of obligation that he now feels he has to care for it.
Insane.
They're insane. And here's the thing. I know there's a lot of people who are going to be like, oh, well, it's obviously fake. It's fake. Let's say it is real. It is real. How do you even communicate with somebody who's just like, I just like being tortured? Well, it's just a mysterious doll. It blows up light bulbs and makes it rain. What if Letta was one of the reasons that caused the hurricane? A big topic of discussion right now is weather machines and how a certain political group is causing the weather to happen on this election cycle.
It's literally just the doll.
That man with Letta out in the ocean, just like, how do we know, Nick? We can't know. Next up, the Hope Diamond. The Hope Diamond is a blue diamond that was extracted in the 17th century. While famous on its own for its size and beauty, the diamond has been removed for carrying a curse that has led to the untimely demise of several people throughout history. You know what it kind of looks like? It looks like the heart of the ocean.
Yeah, as in I hope they fucking die. The Hope Diamond.
Bitch, and she's just like, it's been 90 years, or whatever she says.
Was she actually alive when they made Titanic?
Hell no, dude. I bet they're not even fucking real, I bet, dude. Was Rose from Titanic real? And Leo?
Leo wasn't.
Oh, so now it's okay, yeah. Collected in India, the rare diamond was originally purchased by King Louis XIV from Jean-Baptiste Tavernier, who claimed to have acquired it from the Kohler mine of the Golconda region. Definitely didn't say that stuff right. After being stolen during the French Revolution, it was found in the collection of King George IV, and after his death, it was bought by Lord Philip Hope in 1830, which is where the name Hope Diamond comes from.
I wonder why.
What do you mean you wonder why? It's because his name's Philip Hope. Some of the notable deaths of this diamond's possessors include Marie Antoinette. What happened to her? Just kidding. She inherited the diamond after King Louis XIV's death, only to be guillotined 9 months later during the Revolution for crimes against the state.
History.
See that
We
good
love
Giro
it.
performance? Sick. Or Princess Marie Louise, Marie Antoinette's close confidant. She wore the diamond temporarily, only to die soon after during the September Massacre in 1792. This was during the Revolution, when the mobs of Parisians murdered people, mostly prisoners, believed to be the Old Order. The French Revolution sounds fun. Good time. French Revolution video? People would love that. You know why I don't want to do it? Because I hate the French. Or we can talk about Willem Falls, a Dutch jeweler that shaped the uncut 115-carat diamond into its current shape. And after doing so, his son allegedly stole it from him before murdering his father and then taking his own life. You know what the curse is? It's that it's like you can't trust a single human being to have just like a nice thing. No one can ever just let somebody have a nice thing. This is the curse. Or Simon Mauchon, a Greek merchant who briefly owned the Hope Diamond. And after reselling it in 1910 to Pierre Cartier, he took his own life by driving off a cliff with his wife and his child in the car.
Are you sure he wasn't just
people
drunk?
who own it and then they get rid of it. That's when they're cursed. It's almost like the Hope Diamond's just like, you have to stay with me forever. Or we can talk about Evelyn Walsh McLean, owner of the Washington Post. After buying it from Pierre in 1912, her mother-in-law and son died abruptly. Soon after, her husband left her, but was declared legally insane in divorce proceedings. He passed away in a psychiatric hospital. Lastly, her daughter died of a drug overdose. And then finally, James Todd, the man tasked with delivering the diamond to the Smithsonian, crushed his leg and received serious head wounds in 2 car accidents. A large part of his house in Maryland also burned down. I will say so far in the list that to me, I'm like, this feels like the actual most cursed object so far. I would say out of all of them so far, you would not
That
see me
last part's
dead
really funny.
wearing
Oh, and
or
also
touching
his
that
house
fucking
burned down.
necklace, dude. But we can also talk about the Thomas Busby chair. A lot of chairs, dude. Also, you can't go from Devil's rocking chair to the Thomas Busby chair. This better be good. Thomas Busby was a criminal and drunk living in North Yorkshire in the 1600s. We're already off to a good start. Thomas Busby from Fay, Yorkshire, eh? Yeah, in the town drunk. you. He married a woman named Elizabeth, whose father was an equally deplorable small-time crook. This man, named Daniel Awady, owned a farm that was customized to aid his crimes. The farm he named Donati Hall featured a hidden room connected by a secret pathway to the cellar. Busby and Awady befriended each other, committing crimes as a team. However, they did not get along well. Dun, dun, dun. As the story goes, Thomas Busby and Awady began a heated argument that led to Awady threatening to take Elizabeth away from him. Busby was further enraged by the fact that Awady was sitting in his favorite chair, which he promptly threw him off before returning home for the night. The argument had kept Busby up at night, and in his anger, he grabbed a hammer, returned to Donati Hill, and beat Awady to death. This is some serious 1600 behavior. Busby attempted to hide the body in the woods, but failed. His remains were discovered, and Busby was charged with murder and given a death sentence in 1702. Not only was he being hanged from a gibbet, but his body would be dipped in tar and presented in front of the inn that he owned, now renamed Busby's Stoop Inn. Dude, how brutal, man. How f***ed up is that? You're gonna be hung, but they're gonna dip you in molten hot fucking tar. You know they.
And then also we're gonna take your business and name it. Haha, fucker died.
Feather somebody in a heartbeat. Wouldn't you not?
Probably if I was at the time.
At the time, yeah, you know how fun that'd be. What else are you gonna do? Read a book?
Doesn't happen every day too, so that's like a big event.
Yeah, you can't read. Event. It's almost just being like, oh my god, they're gonna tar and you know, and you fucking kill a chicken, like rip out the feathers real quick. Many deaths and paranormal occurrences have been linked to the inn, specifically his favorite chair. Supposedly on the way to his death, he cursed the chair and anyone who would choose to sit in it. Once again, I believe that to be true 100%. A guy being like,
I cursed this chair, you touched my fucking chair, I kill you.
A chimney sweep that briefly sat in the chair
Beat
left
you
to
to
sleep in his car.
fucking death, I will.
Morning, hanging from a nearby gate post. First off, a chimney sweep that briefly sat in a chair that he went to sleep in his car on the job.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but maybe somebody hung him because he wasn't doing his job very well. You ever think about that? In 1968, 2 airmen who dared each other to sit in the chair died the next day in a fatal car crash. Were airmen, were they pilots? 2 pilots are like, oh, and then they die on the ground in a car. Is that ironic? It feels ironic. In 2007, a manager for the pub once saw a towering, armless figure with an indistinct visage on the upstairs landing. It saddled sideways and vanished through the wall. Basically, he saw a fucking ghost in 2007, is what it sounds like. Was it the ghost of Busby?
Or he
the
was
ghost of the
really
pilot?
drunk.
Eventually, the chair was secured in a cellar before being donated to the Thirst Museum. It now sits untouched for decades, high up on a wall to prevent anyone from sitting on it. That's kind of f***ed up, dude. You think even if you just touch it, you're still cursed?
You gotta sit in it.
You have to sit. Okay. What if you talk shit on the chair if you also get cursed? I wouldn't sit in that. It looks uncomfortable. Busby's just like, it's a comfy chair, you fuck. We can talk about the Iceman curse. The Iceman, known as Otzi, a 5,300-year-old mummified hunter that was discovered by a German tourist in Tyrolean Alps in 1991. Yeah, that's kind of recent. In terms of finding like a preserved body, how often do we find? You probably don't find preserved bodies that much.
You wanted to kill Meat Canyon.
Celebrated. There's a
you wanted to kill the Iceman.
In which those that helped retrieve Otzi were subjected to unfortunate deaths. This was known
I'm an elf and or Canadian.
Curse. In 1992, forensic pathologist Rainier Hen used his bare hands to help put the mummified corpse into a body bag. Later, while on his way to give the lecture about the Iceman, he died in a fatal car accident. Ooh, I don't know if I would touch the body even if it's that old.
Yeah,
with my bare hands.
I wouldn't.
Gloves
I wanted to kill the spirit.
Bacteria? Would he still have bacteria if he's that preserved, or would he just be clean?
That's like a big thing going on right now as the ice caps are melting. Bacteria that was like lay dormant is now awakening. Lovecraftian. Cthulhu.
Kurt Fritz, the mountain guide that helped Rainier Hen uncover the body,
I'm also
died
confused
in a
why
sudden
he
avalanche after being struck by falling rocks.
Randomly
and next
just
was
touch a
Rainier
corpse.
Hosel, who was doing camera work for an internationally produced documentary about Otzi's extraction from the ice. And several months after the broadcast, he passed away due to a brain tumor that developed soon after the program was broadcasted. And in 2004, Helmut Simon, one of the original discoverers of Otzi, died falling 300 feet from a cliff during a hike in Austria. A sudden blizzard interrupted their travels, carrying off the ledge and burying him in ice. Dieter Warneck was the head of the mountain rescue team sent to find Simon before his death. An hour after the funeral, he died of a heart attack. And 1 year later, Conrad Spindler, the archaeologist who inspected Otzi's body, died of complications of multiple sclerosis. It was known that he had always scoffed at the idea of a curse, even joking about how he would surely be the next victim. Then the 7th and final death related to the Iceman was Tom Loy, a molecular archaeologist who was responsible for determining Otzi's exact cause of death. He had written a book on Otzi, but was killed after being diagnosed with hereditary blood condition soon after completing it. It seems a little serendipitous that they all have something die. Not one guy who's just like, yeah, I died of old age. The only one was kind of a bit of a jump. I'm like in 2004. I'm like, okay, well, dude, how long is this curse? When I think of a curse, I think of something that's
1,000-year-old herpes from a corpse. Yeah, like
flying home,
we don't have any
can't wait
chance of fighting off any of the infections from